Hey guys, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game all about building the best hospital that you can build in as quick as possible time as you can do it, called Clinic Deluxe Edition. Clinic Deluxe Edition is a 1 to 4 player game where players are trying to build the best clinic in town to cure the most people in town and keep expenses down while profits, aka reputation, up. You're going to do that through some cool simultaneous action selections, through building on this cool 3D board, which is going to focus on adjacency, and adjacency not being on the same axis but on the axis, the floor above and the floor below. So you're doing, it really gets in your head. You're just trying to be the most efficient as possible. If you've ever played an Album VR game, you're going to know kind of what you're going to expect here. He's in a small city. He's the town center. He's a beast of a game designer, and this one's no exception. Let's go down to the table, see how it plays. All right, so here's a game of Clinic, all set up for 2 players. This is kind of a beast, so I'm going to go over setup kind of quickly, then I'm just going to play through a round. And then after that round, you should have a gist of what's going on. So to set up, you're going to give each player a board that looks like this. It's going to be their clinic. Each player is going to get one of the service buildings, so in this case we have psychiatry, a treatment room, and a supply room. A doctor that's white, and a car that they have to park for their doctor, and some pieces that they're going to be using to take actions, and $15. So both these players are going to have the same thing. Then you're going to put out all these different modules based on the number of players. So for a 2-player game, the setup's going to look like this. There's going to be 1 of each of these special blue rooms. You're going to put nurses out here based on the number of players. So in a 2-player game, you're going to put the bottom 2 rows out. You're going to put orderlies out. In a 2-player game, there's 4. And you're going to pull these 3 doctors, random doctors, out of the bag. There's a doctor bag, and there's a patient bag, which has a cube on it. You're going to do this, and you're going to go from darkest color to lightest color, descending order. You're going to pull 3 patients out in the 1, 2, 3 players. So we're going to play psychiatry, pulmonary, I don't know what this is, I'm awful, but heart and ophthalmology. You're going to put a cube on each of the spaces on the red, put the round marker here, the action marker here, and you're going to put cubes in turn order, time, and prestige points, or reputation, I think. And then one more thing to set up, and then we'll get going. I'm not going to tell you how, I'm not going to teach you how to play before we play. I'm just going to go, and you'll kind of learn as you go. So the next thing we're going to do is each player is going to pick in reverse turn order, so yellow first, or green, whatever color, then purple. You're going to pick a bonus tile. So they can either pick a nurse and a car. Every time you take a person, it comes with a car. So a nurse or an orderly or a parking lot. I think they're actually going to take the nurse. So they want the nurse. So this comes over here on their board and hangs out. They got to take a car from the parking lot and park it. So let's put it right here. All right. So this one's gone. And then the other player wants to take the orderly. So they'll take the orderly with a car. They'll park said car right here, and then the other one doesn't get picked, it's out. All right, so now we're going to play. So on a player's turn, I guess during a turn, players are going to pick one of the 3 actions. You can build, which I'll explain when we go. They're all laid out on the board, so this is the build section. You can hire, this is the hire one. Hire's right here in this section. Or you can admit patients, which looks like this. And patients are over here, and I'll explain that. That's the most complicated one of all of them. I'll explain that when we go. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to pick an action. We're going to do the same. We're going to do this part 3 times in a round, so you can only pick the same action twice because you only have 2 tiles. So let's see. I think I want to build. So I'm going to build. Put this down here. Move these. I'm not going to keep these up here because you know that I have 3 of each action, and there are 2 actions. So I just hold these out down here. And then they want to actually, they're going to build as well. All right, so let's get rid of these. All right, so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip. So we flip, I put build, they're gonna flip, they put build. So now in turn order, which will be purple first, going down, each player's gonna build. You can build two things. So the things are another service room, a supply room, a treatment room, a special room, which is one of 4 different things, a helipad, a parking lot, an entrance, a conveyor, or a park. So you can build 2 of those things. And as I build, I'll explain some adjacency and how all that kind of works while I'm playing. So first thing that purple wants to do, I'm gonna be purple, and the other player that I'm playing with will be green, is they wanna build this room right here. So this is the triage room. You see that has a clock on it. That's gonna be involved in movement later. It's gonna help me take less time moving, and I'll explain that when we get there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the board, and to build this, it costs a certain amount of money. So blue room on the bottom floor costs $2. So I'm gonna pay $2. Get my change. And then I can put this anywhere that I want. It can't be adjacent to another blue building, and you can only have 1 blue building on each floor. So as you can see, I started out with the ground floor and first floor. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it, I'll just put it over here because it doesn't really matter. No one has to be in it. So I'm gonna build it right there. And then I'm done. So that was their turn. They're gonna do the same, they're gonna build. They're going to actually do, let's see. They're gonna build a blue building too, because it seems like the thing to do. So they're gonna build this building. This is the lab. What this is going to do is going to make a doctor better, which I'll explain when we get to some of that in a little bit. And they're going to build that in the same area that I built mine. So they can start, oh, they'll actually build it right here. So they're going to put that right there. And it's a blue building on the first floor, so that's going to cost them $2 as well. All right, so they have $13 left. And now we're on to round 2. So then this marker is going to move. It's going to cross that cube right there, which you might not be able to see. So that means we're going to pull out new patients from the patient bag and put them on the next farthest right spaces in psychiatry, heart, and eyeball. All right, so there are different colors of patient. White means they're not that concerned with getting fixed or help. Red means if they don't get help by the time you admit them and you don't do them that round, they're going to die, and that's bad. All right, so now we're moving on to round 2. I'm gonna actually gonna hire. So I'm gonna do a hire. I'm not gonna do them face down because it doesn't really matter. And they want to, they're actually gonna take a patient. So they're gonna admit it, if I can find it. So they're gonna admit a patient in. All right. So this goes in turn order. If there's a tie, it doesn't necessarily matter if it's not a tie, but we'll go in order. So this player's going to hire. They want to get a doctor. So they're actually going to take this orange doctor for $4. Comes down here. They pay the $4. And they can also hire 1 nurse or an orderly now. You can't hire a nurse and an orderly. It's just a doctor and or a nurse or an orderly. Now they have a nurse. They're actually going to take an orderly. So that cost $1. So put them down there. So when they took the doctor and the orderly, they had to park 2 more cars because every person comes with a car. So they'll go ahead and fill out this extra area. They had to pay that extra $1. All right, and they're done. Then this player, they're going to admit. All right, so the way admitting works is you can see this section over here on your board. There's for each of the 5 types of medicine. The way admitting works is you're going to have to use Q points. So everybody starts out with a base of 1 Q point. Then you get 1 Q point for every entrance that you have in your hospital. We all start with 1 entrance, so we each have 2 Q points. A Q point is going to let you take, say you can take any cube from the red and put it into your pre-admittance area. That's 1 Q point. Or you can swap 2 customers that are adjacent like this, and that will be 1 Q point. So I swapped that white one with the orange one. So that's what I'm going to do. I want to swap this orange one for the white one, and then I'm going to take this orange one, and I'm going to put it in psychiatry. Because as you can see, I have psychiatry here. I can only treat psychiatry patients, which is why you might want to move somebody from the heart up to the psychiatry, so you can actually get them, you know, help. Then when I took a patient, I also had to take a car. So I'm going to take a car, put said car right there. All right, and then this slides over. And that's their 2 cue points. They swapped one, and then they took a patient. And that's the end of that round. So we're going to go to round 3, get some more patients. Whoa, dropped it. All right, so we got a white, we got a white, and we got a white. So we got lots of white patients. All right, then we're going to pick some stuff again. This player actually wants to build because I need to get a parking lot. So I'm gonna build. Actually, I can't build. I gotta get a patient so I can make some money. No, that's fine. You can see that person do a patient. So I'm gonna build. And then this player, oh, I put this on the wrong spot. This player gets that. And then they have a white doctor. They need to hire some more people. So they're gonna hire again. And they're gonna get, hopefully, another nurse. All right. So then we go. I'm building. I have 2 builds. I'm actually going to build. Let's see. I actually want to build a heart. So I'm going to build a heart service area. And I'm going to build it right here. All right, so there's some tricks. Adjacency is directly to the left, right, above and below, or like in the same floor, or directly above. So you see this space would be this space. So I cannot put this one right here because it would be adjacent and that's not allowed. So I'm putting it right here, which is above this supply room, which is legal. And now this supply room is adjacent to this, which is good. And because I built it up here, it cost me $3. And now I need to build a parking lot, which a parking lot costs $2. So I'll pay $2 here. And I'll show you how a parking lot works. You're gonna take the parking lot. There's a 2-side, which you're gonna do first, and then you can upgrade it to a 3-side later. But I'm gonna do the 2-side. I'm gonna put it right here. And that's gonna let me take 2 of these cars and park them in the parking lot. You can't build a module, which are the parts of your clinic, next to parked cars, which is why you want to do a parking lot. But you can do a garden because they don't fill up the whole entire section of the board. So that's the rule why you can build this and you can't build other things. So they built 2, they're done. Then they're gonna go to this player, they wanna hire, so they need to hire a nurse. So they're gonna take this first nurse for $2. Nurse is gonna come with a car. So they'll take this car, put it right here, and then pay $2. Then they need to probably get another doctor. They don't need a doctor, they only have 1 patient. Ooh, they don't have enough nurses for that though. Can't buy 2 nurses. But. That's fine. All right, so we're going to just we'll take this doctor. So $2 for the doctor. Another car comes along. The cars are just insane. All right, so we got another car. And that was $2. So we'll get rid of this. 3 back. And then after the end of the 3rd round, you're gonna put cubes down 1 more time. Sweet, we got some colors, all right. All right, so now we've done that. Now we're gonna move on to phase 2, which is business, or moving. Phase 1, now we're gonna start moving. So we're gonna take people that are not quite yet in our clinic, and we're gonna move them into the clinic. This is where the time of this building is going to come into play. So I'm going to show you with this one, then I'll just move this one around and I won't spend as much time on it. So what you got to do is you got to go in through an entrance, and each space you move costs 1 unit of time. Every 3 units of time you spend, you lose a point at the end of the game. So you're trying to be as efficient as you can moving people around into this clinic. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I want to get people I'm going to get this orderly in the supply room because that's all they're going to do is help me pay less money at the end. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 time. So that's -1 point. Then we're going to do the nurse. I want to get them in the treatment room. So 1, 2. Then I want to put this orange doctor in the treatment room. 1, 2. So that's 4. And then I want to put this white doctor. I'm just going to put the white doctor right here. He's going to hang out right there. That's another one. And now because I have a -3, I want to take -3 time off. 1, 2, 3. Spent 5 time doing all that. That's my turn. So now I'm ready to treat patients, do some stuff whenever I get a patient, but I don't have a patient. So now this player's going to do the same. So they need to treat a patient. They're going to try. So we're going to go here for 2, 4, 1 here. So that's 1, 2, that's 6, 7, 8, 9. So they have 9 movements. They don't have any bonus to make it cheap. So they've already lost 3 points. All right, and then they want to move their patient down in here, which will cost them some more. So they're going to move 1, 2, 2 more. So the patient's going to be in there. So they have wasted 11 time moving. All right, and that's moving. We're done. Nothing else to do right now. I could have taken this guy from this room as well, straight up to here. Or from this room straight up to here, because that's right next to each other. It's just 1 time, even though it's above or, it's directly adjacent, so it just takes 1 space. Then we're going to move on to business. Business is where you're going to hire some or heal some patients, pay your employees, pay for your modules and all that stuff, and earn some money. All right, so over here, this player doesn't have any people to cure, which is a problem because they're going to be losing some money. So they're going to have to pay their wages now. So it's every piece of wood is 1, except for this. Different color doctors cost more. So this one is, orange one is 3. So 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1 for every room in your clinic. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then the orderly gives you a $3 discount. So it's going to be 8. So I only have $3. I'm not making any money. Normally I'd have to pay 1 point for every dollar that I can't pay, but since I'm at 0, people take pity on me and I don't have to pay anymore. So that was me. Then over here, they're going to kind of be in the same boat, I think. I was trying to cure this guy, but the way you can see here, I have a doctor and a nurse. In order to cure an orange cube, I'd have to have an orange doctor. Or for every color that's off, so in this case I'm 2 off, I have to have a nurse. I only have 1 nurse. So I can't quite cure that cube, so it's going to stay there and get worse, and that's bad. So all I'm going to be able to do is spend more money. So I have to spend some money as well. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, -3. So I have to pay $5. And that's it. No one made any money. So we're done. Paid our expenses. Had I made money, any money you make goes down below your board. It's going to be used to spend $3 for 1 point to get points throughout the game. I'm not going to show you that, but just know if when you cure a patient, that's what's going to happen. And also when you cure a patient, they're going to leave, go out of the game into that supply over there, and they're going to take a car with them. So whenever somebody leaves your board, whether that you cure them or they die, a car goes away, and if they die, you lose 5 points. So don't let that happen. Third thing we're going to do is we're going to do some admin. So this is just basically cleanup before we go into the next round. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this to the next round. You can see it has some iconography here. Then we're going to take all of these off of the red line here. Slide all these over. So this is what we're doing here. Then we're going to, any doctors in a lab or a university are going to get smarter. So they're going to go up basically 1 color, but the lab's going to go up 2. So this white one is going to turn in to a yellow. We'll do that. And then this white one is going to go up 2 levels because they have a lab. It's going to be an orange. All right, so that's that. Then we're going to add new doctors from the bag. Let's see. So we're going to add yellows all around. So lots of yellow doctors. All right. Then we will get rid of all the nurses that are left from round 1, which I did that right here. Then we're going to upgrade all the doctors in the lab, which I already did, and you get a point. So yellow is going to get 1 point, 1 reputation, because they have a smart doctors. Then every doctor on your board that's not in the lab is going to downgrade. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So this one is going to go down to a yellow. which is actually good because it's going to help me save some money. And then they don't have any because they're doctors in their lab. And then all the cubes that you have are going to get worse. So this one, anything in this section or in your hospital are going to get worse, and this one's now a red. That's mission critical right there. If I can't cure them next round, they die, and that's bad news. Then we're going to flip over this card because any of these rooms can only be built once per round. And then we're going to determine turn order, which whoever has the lowest points is first player. So in this case, turn order stays the same. This gets reset back to 1, and we start again. We would do all of that stuff over again through 5 more rounds because it's a 6-round game. And whoever has the most points at the end of the game is the winner. I know I didn't show you everything. I didn't show you how you cure a patient, but I went over it, so that should give you a good idea how this game plays. Let's go up to the top. See what we think about it. All right, well, that was Clinic. That was only 1 round, and it took 20 minutes. And I probably missed some stuff. I didn't even show you everything that you could do, but there will be 5 more other rounds that you could do that. I probably didn't play it as efficiently as possible, but I kind of wanted to show you a little bit of everything that you can do. So it is what it is. So this game, I'm just going to start it up at the top. This game is fantastic. I love it. It's super fun. This is going to be BGM accepted. It's going to be a 9 out of 10 on BGG. So I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5. It's awesome. It's thinky. It burns your brain. It's heavy. It's amazing. So let me tell you what I like about it. So what I like about this is it's essentially kind of an economic money management efficiency game. You're trying to hire these people into your hospital. You're trying to make sure they can park their cars because they got to drive to your hospital. You're trying to make sure you can move your people around your clinic as efficiently as possible. So you're trying to build entrances. You're trying to build helipads so they can get off the helicopter in a higher floor without having to walk from the down floor entrance. You're trying to make sure you have doctors that can do the correct color of cubes. It's just so much things to think about and not a ton of time. You're only going to take 18 actions over the course of this game. So you want to make sure they count. You're trying to do as much as you can in 18 actions. My kind of game. There are a lot of other games that do that too. One of them is Grand Austria Hotel. You might be taking, I think, 12 or 14 actions in that one. So I like it. The production is amazing. My board had some French on it as well because the publisher sent it to me for the review. So it was sort of in English, sort of in French, but it doesn't really matter because the rulebook's in English, so you're good to go. The pieces are amazing. Like you can see the orderlies. I showed them on the, I didn't really show them, but they're like these little guys. They're pushing a cart. The nurses are just these cool, like little blue meeples that look really neat. Doctors are bigger versions of the nurses. All the color, it's just awesome. Like the production is amazing. The rule book is really clear. It's super big, like 20 some pages, but it spells out adjacency. It spells out what all the buildings do. It spells out how you need some of the buildings to be next to other buildings to fire off correctly. Just lays it all out, tells you how to play it. I didn't have any issues reading that rule book. So that rule book is how you're supposed to do it. So yeah, I did spend enough time on the playthrough, so I'm not gonna beat the dead horse here, but this game is amazing. If you can find this game, do it. Don't think twice about it. Don't even walk by it. Just take it, put it in your arm, take it to the shelf, or put it in the cart on Amazon or Cool Stuff or whatever, and get this game in your collection. It's fantastic. You will not be disappointed. So that is Clinic Deluxe Edition from Alvin Viard. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.